Thank you, Nicole. Good morning, everyone, especially to our guests from the House of Representatives, from DOST, Director Franz De Leon, and my fellow colleagues from the Advanced Science and Technology Institute. So I'll be presenting on by the way, I'm Jeng Tatanko, and I'll be presenting on the S&T infrastructures as the backbone of scientific research and development. Okay, so this first slide, just to explain, at DOST-ASTI, our programs and projects are aligned to the national priorities and R&D agenda. So one of the pillars of ambition natin 2040 is Kaunlaran, and it is focused on increasing potential growth. And in support of this, one of the outcomes identified in the Philippine Development Plan of 2017 to 2022 to address the country's potential growth is to build a foundation for a globally competitive knowledge economy where accelerated technology adoption and stimulated innovation are at the forefront. So with the three pillars of ambition natin 2040 as guiding principles, the DOST came out with a harmonized national research and development agenda, or HNRDA, which sets the national R&D priority areas and programs in the sectors of health, agriculture, aquatic and natural resources, industry, energy and emerging technologies, and disaster reduction and climate change adaptation. So part of the DOST-ASTI's mandate is to undertake long-term research to strengthen and modernize S&T infrastructures. So the agency identified three major programs that captures our current initiatives and addresses the direction we envision for the next 2 decades. So let me focus on EXPAND, or the Environment for Extreme Computing, Performance, and Networking Development. So the vision for EXPAND is to become a global center of excellence in HPC, advanced computing, and scientific research innovation in ICT. That's attuned to local, regional, and global developments and needs by the year 2040. So central to EXPAND are the S&T infrastructures maintained by the DOST-ASTI, which we call the Information Network for Open and Viable Applications and Technology Exchange, or Innovate. So Innovate drives innovation activities by enabling data-driven and ICT-based R&D solutions to solve pressing national problems such as COVID-19, food security, and disaster risk reduction, among others. Okay, so let me go a little bit deeper into what EXPAND is. The EXPAND program emphasizes the importance of national S&T infrastructures in providing the network backbone and computing capacity to support the national R&D agenda. Okay, so Innovate is comprised, like what Nicole said, of the National Research and Education Network, called the Philippine Research, Education, and Government Information Network, or PREGINET, and a national HPC and science cloud facility, which we call the Computing and Archiving Research Environment, or CORE. So these infrastructures enable technology development, dissemination, and data transfer and exchange that benefit the local scientific community. But how exactly does it benefit the local scientific community? Okay, so let's discuss first what a National Research and Education Network is, or NREN. When we talk about an NREN like PREGINET, we usually focus on the physical infrastructure. So what are NRENs and how are these different from commercial providers of internet? Another important aspect of an NREN is the motivation for having one. So why do most countries invest in setting up and operating their own national research and education network? Okay, so in terms of the physical infrastructure, NRENs are similar to commercial internet providers. So it has a network backbone, a last mile connectivity, a network operation center, clients that are connected to the network, and connection to the rest of the world. So in this slide, if you see the picture it's colored cyan. No? It's the map of Preginet, and it shows the connection of Preginet domestically as well as internationally. I'm sorry, it's too small, so you can't see the details, but trust me when I say that you can see it from this picture. Okay. So in terms of the purpose for having the network, that's where the big difference lies. Okay, so mainly research and education networks run high performance, high bandwidth applications that support scientific breakthroughs in research, and they serve as test beds for innovation. So a number of technologies started out as technology experiments on an NREN before they were rolled out and adopted commercially. So the World Wide Web, or the internet, was started on a research and education network, actually. So other technologies include IPv6, voice over IP, software-defined networks, and a lot more. Okay. So over these networks, large data transfers are carried out across continents, enabling cross-institution and cross-country collaboration on high-impact research activities. So again, if you see this slide, right beside the Preginet map is a TAIN map, and TAIN stands for the Trans-Eurasia Information Network. Okay, so TAIN is a research and education network aggregator in the Asia Pacific that connects the region to the European research and education network called GEONT. So the Philippines is connected to TAIN through our direct links to Hong Kong, Singapore, and Japan, which the Philippine government funds through our ASTI GAA. Okay. So on the domestic side, although you will not see this from the slide, currently we maintain a strong alliance with SUCs that have strong research programs, and these SUCs act as our hubs in strategic locations across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So the universities connected or that will be connected to these hubs will form our Science Community Research Network. So among these universities are the whole UP system, Central Luzon State University, Mariano Marcos State University in Batac, Ilocos, NSU IIT, Batangas State University, and Pangasinan State University. Okay, so that's the physical infrastructure. Let us now get into the activities that actually run on this kind of physical infrastructure. So a significant part of these infrastructures are actually the research and collaboration activities that are carried out over these networks. And these are the activities that put value into this S&T infrastructure. Okay, so in the interest of time, what I have on this slide are just two examples. Okay, so on the left side, in terms of telemedicine activities, our active involvement in the Asia Pacific Advanced Network medical working group over the years has led to our strengthened linkages with major hospitals in the country, including PGH, St. Luke's, Cardinal Santos, Cebu Doctors, National Kidney Transplant Institute, and Makati Medical Center. So DOST-ASTI is a significant partner of the telemedicine network of the Philippines, and it acts as its lead technical consultant. Okay, so just on the left side, you see a picture of a live surgery which was conducted at Rizal Medical Center. And while this was going on live, other hospitals and other doctors from different parts of the world are able to watch this. And as you can see from the picture of, I'm not sure what organ it is, but it's very high quality. It's very, what do you call this? If you stream this on a commercial internet, it wouldn't look as clear as it is in this picture. So the significance of telemed has been especially noteworthy since the start of the pandemic last year. Telemed activities of the TNP related to COVID-19 have paved the way for cooperation among the country's hospitals and doctors. toward managing its treatment and ensuring safety protocols in our hospitals. No? And just to add, around 4 Philippine medical societies are also part of the TNP. Okay, so in terms of mirror site, so first of all, what is a mirror site? A mirror site is a website or a set of data sets on a server that has been copied to another server or another location so that the site or files are available from more than one location. So mirror sites are used to make site access faster when the original site is geographically distant from those who are accessing it. So a local mirror would allow users close to the mirror site to get faster and more reliable access. Okay, so DOST-ASTI hosts a mirror server of the Himawari 8 satellite of Japan. So Himawari 8 is a Japanese weather satellite operated by the Japan Meteorological Agency. So the Philippines is the second site in the ASEAN region to have a mirror server of the Himawari 8, and the other one being Thailand. Okay, so these are just 2 examples of the activities that are carried out over a research and education network. Okay, so over the network layer, DOST-ASTI has likewise set up the systems and applications layer through the establishment of the core facility. So currently we have 3 sites, with the main site at our premises in DOST-ASTI, where we fabricated a 40-foot container van to become a research data center. Okay, so our second site is in DICT, and our third site is in a commercial data center in Makati. So since 2008, the Institute has gained considerable competence. In grid, HPC, and cloud computing. So presently, Core caters to a diverse number of users that includes meteorologists, weather scientists, climate researchers, marine scientists, bioinformatics, and genomic scientists and researchers, as well as MS and PhD students. So we have facilitated more than 400 local researchers and scientists and have supported projects and researches in the areas of disaster management, rice genomics, bioinformatics, health research and development, and COVID-19. So these are the areas that you see on the slide. Just to add, more than half of course users come from the academe or universities. There are also government agencies with need for computing and cloud resources that we work with and who use the core resources such as ASAF, EVOX, Sugar Regulatory Administration, DBM, NAMRIA, and PSA, okay, just to name a few. Okay, so CORE provides 3 main services. So it's on the left side, it's high performance computing is the first one. Basically, it's for processing large amounts of data that require high speed number crunching and powerful computing resources that cannot be done on an ordinary PC. The second one is data archiving or storage, data storage. It's composed of a durable storage and a web-based repository that contains scientific, environmental, and geospatial data sets gathered from various researches. So we maintain also what we call the core data catalog. And the third one is Science Cloud, which provides cloud-based services to researchers and students through the provision of virtual machines. So on this slide, you see just a timeline of how the core resources have increased over the years. Okay, from just a 9 terabyte storage to now we're over 13 to 14 terabytes of storage, and we still plan to increase this within the year and the coming years. Okay. So I mentioned earlier that we also maintain a core data catalog, and these are just the data sets that are stored in that data catalog. So we have satellite images, storm surge hazard maps, drought hazard maps, flood hazard maps. That's flood, that's not floor. Okay. And we also host the 3,000 rice genome data sets from the International Rice Research Institute. So right now we're still populating, continue to populate this data catalog. Okay, so this is important. So I have to mention the COVID initiatives that we have supported since last year. As you can see, CORE is hosting a number of researches and initiatives on COVID-19. So I wouldn't get into it in the interest of time, but these are examples of that, and these are both from government-led initiatives and university-led initiatives. Okay, so what are the upcoming activities of Innovate? So the first one, you can see the ASEAN HPC. This initiative intends to establish an ASEAN shared facility that aims to benefit ASEAN member states. So how does it do that? By enhancing research in specific domains which are of national interest. So for example, in the Philippines, it's probably disaster management, right, or COVID-19. So next is to provide a common platform for research collaborations and data sharing. And third is for resources and cost sharing as well. Okay, so to enable the shared HPC to be accessible by all ASEAN member states, international and domestic networks are very important for infrastructure. So PREGINET has a crucial role here, as well as the HPC environment. Okay, so next is the HENP. HENP stands for High Energy and Nuclear Physics. So there is an HENP in PH Consortium. So connectivity to CERN for this DOST-funded project is going to be established. Okay, so for this project, Innovate's domestic and international connectivity is crucial. So the HENP consortium is participated by Philippine universities with strong HENP programs, including UP Diliman, UP Los Baños, MSU IIT, DLSU, and some other universities. Okay, so these universities are connected to PREGINET. Most of them are connected to PREGINET, and this connection will enable the participating universities to access CERN resources. Okay, so on the other hand, since we have a connection to Europe via Innovate's international connectivity with global research and education networks, the infrastructure is ready for us to connect with CERN. So we're just waiting for this. The third one, the one on the right upper corner is the ARENA PAC. This is a new regional backbone network with a central exchange point in Guam. So together with Japan and Indonesia, the Philippines will be one of the identified sites since we will soon be having a direct link to Guam as well. The last one is Copernicus. Copernicus is the European Union's Earth Observation Program that initiated the Sentinel constellation of Earth observation satellites, including Sentinel-1A and Sentinel-1B that provides radar imagery for land and ocean services, so which our DATOS team uses in generating their AI-based hazard maps. So talks with the European Space Agency as well as the Philippine Space Agency for the hosting of a mirror site in the Philippines is already underway. So these are just 4 of the major upcoming activities that we are expecting. Okay, so what's our future direction? Okay, we have a short, midterm, and long-term plans. For the short term, we plan to upgrade our facilities and server. Of course, as you know, equipment technology becomes obsolete every 3 to 5 years. So we have to constantly upgrade our servers, our facilities, the technologies that we use. Okay, so the CERN collaboration, as I've discussed, the ARENA Pact, and the Copernicus Mirror site. So short term because in the next few months or until early next year, these are expected to be implemented. On the midterm plan, the CNHPC is part of this. And in connection to that, we also plan to set up a national shared HPC facility. So aside from ASTI, there are other universities that are maintaining or want to set up their own HPC facility. So that is the purpose of having a national shared HPC facility. Okay. And again, of course, facilities and server upgrades is still part of this. And in the long term, well, hopefully, we will have a national HPC center. So I've seen some house bills on for example, a big data center bill, an AI facility bill. So this can probably be integrated with this national HPC center. Okay. So what are the potential policy areas for this that we can think of for Innovate? So one, we use the income that we generate, hopefully for operations and maintenance of Innovate. Okay, so right now we're fully funded or we're fully supported by GAA funding. And if we could use the income that we generate from Innovate, the payment of our partners, then that would also help in our operations and maintenance. Next is to secure annual funding to sustain international and local links and for upgrade of facilities and equipment. This has always been a yearly challenge for us, securing this funding. And I think later in Dr. Franz De Leon's presentation, we will discuss more about this. And lastly, I've mentioned this in the long-term plan, is the creation of a national HPC center. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for the attention, and I apologize if my presentation was longer than it was supposed to be. Again, good morning to everyone.